My name is Daichi, and I am 25 years old. My family is poor and in a large amount of debt, so I have to work as a butler for a wealthy family to pay off the debts. The next morning, as soon as I woke up, I wandered around the house, feeling a bit overwhelmed because it was so big. The housekeeper noticed me and instructed me to go to the mistress's room to change her clothes. I must not have misheard. This was going to be my first task. When I arrived at the mistress's room to call her for school, her name was Hama, 1 year younger than me. As I entered the room, I saw her wearing only thin lingerie. My face turned red, and I felt awkward and didn't know what to say. Suddenly, she asked me to get clothes from the wardrobe and help her change. Damn, I'm already 25 years old and I've never encountered a situation like this before. But I have to admit her figure is incredibly attractive. Lost in my thoughts, she yelled at me, making me jolt back to reality.
Who hired you here? You're truly incompetent. Hurry up and get to work.
She scolded me and left for school in anger. Perhaps because she had been spoiled since childhood, she was quite temperamental. On the weekend, she invited me to go for a walk in the city. I was curious, so I asked Hama,
"Why don't you make plans with your friends to hang out? Instead of asking me to go, what's the intention behind inviting me?"
She pointed at me and yelled,
If you don't go, I will tell my father to fire you.
Seeing the fear on my face, she threatened me without any reason. But for the sake of making a living, I yielded to Hama this time. In the afternoon, I took her to a large shopping center near the house. I led her to the amusement area to play bowling. She got angry with me because she couldn't knock down any pins no matter how many times she tried. Her angry expression scared me, and I had to surrender with both hands up. With my experience, I carefully taught Hama how to play bowling well. Luckily, she managed to knock down 2 pins with her throw. She was ecstatic like a child and hugged me tightly. It's indescribable how it feels to have another girl touch my body like this. When we returned, she was very pleased with the outing today, as if it was her first time going out with someone of the opposite sex.
I will propose to my father about increasing your salary.
Since then, I've realized that despite Hama's stubbornness, deep down she is someone who understands. The next morning, when Hama returned from school, she asked me to take her to a restaurant. Any restaurant, as long as it's delicious. I brought her to the restaurant I often eat at, which offers a variety of services, including karaoke for people to sing. Hama sang for a while, and then I realized that today the restaurant had run out of food. She became angry and scolded me a lot, insisting that I find another restaurant immediately. Luckily, I knew a high-end pizza place nearby, so I took her there. As she enjoyed her meal and laughed, I couldn't help but feel happy.
Wow, I've never eaten such delicious food.
I silently thought that she must have indulged in extravagant dishes and never experienced something like this before. That evening, while I was sweeping the yard, Hama told me that she had to step out for a moment, but she didn't return for a long time. I had a bad feeling about it. And indeed, Hama had been kidnapped. The kidnappers sent a letter to Hama's father, demanding $5 million in exchange for her life. After reading the letter, I was furious. I quickly changed into a Kingsman suit and asked the owner for permission to rescue Miss Hama. I hurriedly went to the address provided by the kidnappers.
Daichi, save me.
You let her go, or I'll punch you like a dog.
I feel so majestic, like I'm in a swordplay movie.
You give me the money and I'll release you.
I threw the suitcase of money at him, taking advantage of his distraction, and quickly approached to punch the 2 men, successfully rescuing Hama. It was a reminder that real life is not like the movies, as I had expected Hama to come and embrace me in admiration. However, she said something unexpected.
You don't take the money, you idiot.
I just chuckled because I knew that suitcase contained counterfeit money, so I wasn't worried about it at all. After successfully rescuing Hama, I brought her back home safely. The owner at that moment highly valued my abilities.
Thank you for keeping my daughter home safely. I decided to pay off all debts to his family as a favor, and I will arrange for you a stable job by my company.
Thank you very much, boss. I will remember this favor forever.
After the owner assigned me the task, I was taken aback. It turned out that the job I was about to undertake was to become Hama's husband. At this point, Hama was half believing, half doubting. Although she appeared indifferent on the surface, deep down inside, she was feeling extremely happy. I reached out and took Hama's hand, and I succeeded in gaining the love of my life.